we're on our way to the gym. After the expo, we're gonna go. I'm gonna train shoulders. They're training legs. Heidi, what are you gonna train?
Train shoulders with you.
Shoulders and abs.
Girl. And abs. We have to go abs because we've been done.
I had a piece of chocolate.
What'd you do?
No. It's our last day at this gym. This was sad.
I'm so sad.
Take me away from home.
I'll be back, Melbourne. I'll be back.
Is that your selfie?
And we'll chase the night, race all of these broken dreams and flight, and we'll
What is up, everyone? This was our last workout in Australia. We hit shoulders and abs. We started out on this machine, which usually you face outward, but doing it this way actually hits your posterior and lateral delt a little bit more, and it was a great thing to try. I've never tried this before, but I definitely felt it in a different area in my shoulder, and Fam actually showed us this. It was really good. So I think we warmed up with a couple sets of that, and then we moved right into our abs. We did these cable crunches with the ropes, and I like to do them both facing outward like shown here and also facing inward. I feel like the facing outward gets a lot more of your lower abs, and the facing inward, like if I was bending towards the cable machine, I feel that more in my upper abs. So it's good to do both. Just switch it up and see what you feel. It's very much a mind to muscle kind of exercise. You want to make sure you're not using your momentum. You want to make sure you're contracting your abs. And we supersetted, don't mind those guys in the back, we did a superset with the rope cable crunches and this kind of like body weight crunch on the bench. And you can also do the body weight crunches on the bench with holding a small dumbbell in your feet. I like to do those if I want to kick it up a little bit, just to add a little bit more weight, and that also is good for your lower abs as well. So then we moved into this. It was like kind of like an upright row, but since it was on the cable, you kind of have to hold your arms outward a little bit more, and this really got our posterior delt. I'm all about the posterior delt. I love it when you see people who have a large posterior delt. I think it looks so nice. So I always hit my posterior delts really hard when I train my shoulders, and this is a good way to do it. And I also like to do this with ropes as well. And again, this is super mind to muscle exercise. I can't stress that enough. All of my training, I try to use mind to muscle technique. It helps me so much. So then we moved into regular dumbbell upright rows, and this is great for your the top of your shoulder and the front delt. We actually superset this, as you'll see in a second, with standing lateral dumbbell raises, which I'm gonna do right now. And I've got a lot of questions about the grips that I use when I train in my videos. I use Versa grips. And they're really great I use them honestly every single day. I love them because you can use them for push and pull, and especially on exercises like deadlifts or pull-ups where your grip kind of fatigues before your muscles do. It really helps to kind of transfer the weight from your grip to your forearms so you don't have that problem where you fatigue out your grip before your muscles. So I can usually lift heavier when I use the Versa grips. And so we did a triple superset with the last exercise being the standing dumbbell shoulder presses. I love to do that kind of triple superset, especially on shoulders. I like to really make sure that my shoulder burns out all the way around, so that was a good way to get all parts of your shoulder in one superset. So then Fam showed us this, and it was like, as you can see, I'm going forward like a front raise, and then I'm going like at a 45-degree angle and then at a 90-degree angle. So you're hitting different parts of your delt, and it was kind of hard to get the hang of it. You know, I feel like I was using my traps a lot at first, especially on the 90-degree like lateral looking one, like this one, right? Oh no, I meant that one right there. I felt like I was using my traps, and Fam had to show me how I can activate my posterior delt instead of using like my traps. And I have that problem a lot where my traps kind of like overcompensate, and so that's also a reason why I use the mind to muscle technique. So if you're finding that you have that same problem where you're trying to train a muscle and you don't feel it burning in that muscle, I recommend dropping the weight, going lighter, and really focusing mentally on the muscle that you're trying to contract and not letting your other muscles compensate for the weight. And now you get to watch Fam show us all how it's done. This dude's a beast. Seriously, all the tips he gave me throughout our workout were so awesome, and everything he told me to do, I was like, damn, that really helps so much. He was like, of course, I'm a pro. He's such a good guy. You should definitely follow him. Okay, so now this is what I mentioned before, how I really like to train my posterior delts. This is what I call the cable rope face pulls. And this is honestly, if not my favorite posterior delt exercise, it's right up there because I don't know, I feel it so much in my posterior delt, and it took me a while to do this again because my traps were so overactive in trying to pull the weight instead of my posterior delt. But once you get the hang of it and you kind of feel it out yourself and you activate those posterior delts, I swear it is a game changer. So y'all have to try this one. And also Fam gave me a tip on this too. He said, if you're having trouble activating your posterior delt, try pulling the weight up and leading with your elbows, so pulling the cables towards like your forehead or your eye level. And you want to act like you're ripping the cables apart, not pulling it back. So if you mentally think you're going to tear the rope apart instead of pulling it towards your face, it will. That's what's helped me the most. So that's what I recommend. See, there's Fam pulling it towards his eyes or his forehead, and he's really just pulling the rope apart, not really pulling it back, and that will really activate those posterior delts. So then we move to this posterior delt machine, and here's Fam giving me another awesome tip. He told me when you do this exercise to make sure that your hands, like you see here, are pressed up against the machine, so you're pushing out with the side of your hand, and that makes the hugest difference. Instead of like gripping the handles and pulling it apart, try just pushing your hand against the bar and using the side of your hands to push it back, like by your pinky, and that made the biggest difference in like where I felt the burn, and I will definitely be doing this from now on. So I'm pretty sure we did about 4 sets of these, and I did a high rep range, like 15 to 20 reps. I like to do that kind of rep range for my posterior delt, but don't worry, I'm going to put the whole workout in the video description below, so you guys won't have to like remember that. I'll just write it out below. Moving on to dumbbell shoulder presses. These are just basic dumbbell shoulder presses, making sure my back is against the bench, that I'm not compensating the weight, and just pumping them out. And a little tip, if you want to make it a little more challenging, you want to try to hold the tension in your shoulder. So if you go down just to like your eye level and not like past the shoulder joint, you'll be holding the tension on your muscle, and that will increase the difficulty. Okay, moving on to standing dumbbell front raises. I love doing these. I like to lift as heavy as I can on these. Actually, I just like to lift as heavy as I can in general. But we superset it with standing lateral raises like you see here. So front raise and then lateral raise. And you'll see me at the end of my sets kind of cheating to get the weight up. And I like to do that like as a little bit of a burnout. Especially with the lateral raises, I'll try to do super strict lateral raises and not use momentum at all, but then if I'm like totally fatigued, I'll pump out some cheating ones just to totally tire my muscle out. Alright you guys, that's the end of this vlog. I hope you enjoyed my workout. Please comment and let me know if you liked it, what you'd like to see on my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, don't forget to watch the rest of my Arnold vlogs. This is the last video in my mini-series, but you can watch the rest on my channel if you go to my mini-series Arnold vlogs, and they're really fun and great, so you should watch them. And again, I'm going to write the full workout in the video description below, like I do with most of my workout videos. So that's there for you, and I will also put my LiveFit Apparel discount code. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next vlog. Bye!